You're listening to the Live Free podcast. I'm your host, Christine, certified life coach, pain to power mentor, and creator of Embody You Mindset Mastery School. I'm here today to discuss living life after disease, disaster, or adversity, to discuss living life fully once again, a life of hope, peace, and resiliency, a life fully embodied. I utilize the lessons that I learned going through not one, but two primary cancers. I'm here today to guide you to the life of your dreams, turn your pain into power, and lead you back to yourself. Welcome. Today I want to talk about enjoying the process. I just had a coffee with a friend of mine and we were talking about climbing the mountain and about how you don't realize that the process itself is part of the journey, that it's part of the passion of what it is that you're trying to get to. So often we're so fixated on getting to the end that we forget to be in the process. And that's a sense of control that we all have to have. In my life, this shows up, especially recently, but initially the first area that I can think of is when I got my diagnosis and I was doing all the things, everything that they told me to do, everything that every book told me to do, everything that every naturopath told me to do, everything that every doctor told me to, everything. And I was gripped by this idea that I need to get to the end, to the crest, to the top of the mountain, cured because of, this, that, and the other thing. And as I've stated before, I was asked by my counselor, what if this cancer isn't here to teach you to be better, but instead to just be? And it was so revolutionary to me to think about what it is to just enjoy the process, as opposed to being so tight-knitted towards getting to the crest of that mountain. This is showing up now for me in this business, in wanting to help people. What's my niche? What's my targeted audience? What's my ideal client? How am I going to make money? All of these questions. And I talked to a friend this morning and I said, I'm feeling a bit scattered. And she said something so simple. She said, a good friend of mine, meaning me, said that the process of just being whatever it is that you are at the time is part of the journey. So she said, let yourself be scattered. And again, a reminder that this process that we call life there is no cherry that you'll get to on top that suddenly life will be perfect. It will be light and easy and breezy, and you've done the transformation and you did the work and now you're there. It will always be a process. It will always be discomfort, whether that be a cancer journey or starting a new business or anything. And what I'm finding is that if you let it go and just let it be, then you don't feel like you're swimming up a river Instead, you feel as if you let go and you just coasted. And do you get any faster to your destination if you're constantly worrying and attached and concerned about the outcome? I think no. And maybe you may even arrive at a place that is less desirable than had you just been authentic to yourself. And that's what we spoke about at coffee today, was being authentic to yourself, who you are. I think about the people that I follow on Instagram and all of these other things. What is the thread that they all have in common? And 10 times out of 10, it always has to do with authenticity, with that person just being in the process, who they are, being authentic, unapologetic, and just being. So what makes us think that the intelligent thing to do is to dissect and perfect and make better and improve, when the authenticity, that's what's really attractive to us, to others, is authenticity. And in regards to enjoying the process, I think an authentic person, somebody who is just okay with being, that is a sense of release, and as opposed to a sense of control. And when you're released from the outcome, I believe that intuition can come freely, and that you're able to see things more clearly than you had before. So how can this relate to you? In your life, where is there a place where you are not enjoying the journey? That you are instead looking for the destination in order to find happiness, in order to be, at the crest of the mountain? Chances are there's many places where you're there, and less few than there are ones that you're enjoying the process. But I invite you to ask yourself, where will you be in 1 year, 2 years, 10 years, if not in a new process, in a new journey? And if you have not learned to enjoy the process, then 1 year, 2 years, 10 years from now, could you still be searching for this place of enjoyment where you feel like you really got to the top of the mountain? I think yes. I think it's so common that we forget to enjoy the process. Like myself, at this time, I am uncomfortable. I'm uncomfortable because I'm putting myself out there. I'm uncomfortable because I'm saying to people, I can help you. And that's really scary, because it's causing me to be authentically myself and to be raw and real and open, to have a sense of conviction for what I can do. Whereas before, I was able to play it safe. I would help others in a way that seemed easy, without any pressure. There was no name to it. And that way I could play small. But now I'm moving towards showing up bigger and helping more people, and creating a brand and a business based around something that has been innately a passion of mine for years. But it's bringing up discomfort. Of course it is. And I just think that when we are in these uncomfortable processes, getting curious about what they are and how we can sink into them, and like my friend said, allowing ourselves to be scattered. I think that's when true and real happiness can lie, is in enjoying the journey. And I think that there's a lot of value to that. A lot of beauty. Another aspect of enjoying the process would be the time delay. And what do I mean by that? I mean that getting to the destination is grand, but it does take time. Anything worth having takes experience, practice, repetition. The first time that you sing a song, you only get, 50% of the words, for example. By the end, you've got a showstopper, you've got something to show, something that people want to hear. And if you're so focused on getting to the end, you'll forget to enjoy that time delay, that repetition, that practice, and that experience. So you ask yourself, what is it that I can sink into in this process? What is it that I can relax into and enjoy? Or maybe not even enjoy, but just at the very least embody. And an example of this, for me, would be traveling. When you go traveling, especially backpacking, half the fun is in the process. So sitting around in the hostel, talking to other people, learning about where they've been, learning about who they are, planning out new trips, switching around your itinerary, and all of the fun in between, especially those last minute, off the cuff spontaneity moments where you meet somebody and suddenly you're following their group and all that. And what makes me miss traveling as much as I do is that stuff. I mean, getting to the destinations was amazing and I miss that too. But half of my memories, more than half of my memories that are so good from traveling are always about the process. And when you're traveling, you're present. You're immersed into every stitch, every little bit. And imagine if you cut all that out, if you only ever got to the destination. I think the specialness would be lacking in traveling. Because again, the process is what makes traveling so magnificent. For me, anyway. And I think that can transmute to what we're talking about today so beautifully. Because if you're not able to settle in and enjoy the process, then the only thing that you did was get to the top of Mount Machu Picchu or whatever else, let alone the walk and the journey and the bugs and the crazy hostels that you stayed in and all of those types of things that are great memories to me. So I invite you to enjoy the process. Instead of wanting to be at the top of the mountain, enjoy the hike. Take breaks, relax, do what it is you need to do to get through the hike, because I know that these uphill battles are a lot and they can be really, really difficult and really, really uncomfortable. So take that time and compassion to give yourself that break along the way. But enjoy the process, because it is not about the destination, it is about the journey. Being authentic. Be authentic throughout the journey, throughout the process. Sink into who you are in that. Stop attaching yourself to who you think you should be. And finally, the time delay. Know that it will take time for whatever it is whatever goal that you have. It will take time and patience and kindness with all your breaks. Because I don't really want to just be in Aruba all of a sudden. I want to get on a plane. I want to have some crazy snacks in the airport. I want to meet some travelers when I get there. Drink beers on the bus ride on my way. That's the good stuff. And yeah, once I'm in Aruba, I'm going to love that too. But I digress. The journey, the destination, they are one and the same. So, I hope you go out today and you allow yourself to climb the mountain slowly, to be authentic in who you are, and know that there is a time delay. All the best to you all. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. Take care and live free. Bye. Thank you so much for listening. If you found expansion with this last episode, then that means that others will too. And the best way to get the word out about the podcast is by leaving a review. I would be so grateful if you could leave me a review and let me know how you felt about the podcast. Included in the show notes will be everything that we talked about today, including all of my transformative programs. Change is just on the horizon, my friend.